Alrighty, welcome back. And while we're on the topic of functions, let's talk about one function that you're very likely going to find in many WordPress themes. And it's also a function you might want to use when you're building your very own WordPress theme. And that is the get_template_part function. Now, this is a function that allows a theme to reuse the same kind of code in different template files. So rather than having a huge chunk of code in one single template file, you could break up the code into, let's say, 2 or 3 different template files, and then on one main template file you can call in all these code from all the other template files. Now, what am I talking about? Let's take a look at the Notepad++. Let's take a look at our template theme directory, and I'm going to open up index.php. All right, now let's take a look over here. We do have the function right here, get_template_part, and then inside we do have, inside of the brackets, we do have some text, and we also have something very similar down here as well. So what's happening? What this means is we are telling WordPress at this point right now to look for a folder called template parts. And then inside of that template parts folder, look for a file called content.php. In the second example over here, it's very similar. Look for a file called content-none.php inside of a folder called template-parts. So let's take a look. Right now, over here to the right, where we have our theme directory, we do have template-parts folder just underneath the layouts folder. So if I open it up right now, you can see that we do have 4 different template files. We have content.php, content-none, content-page, content-search. You will note that there is a difference between content.php and the rest of them. The difference being that content.php doesn't have an extension. It doesn't have an extension like the second one, which has none or page or search. The second, third, and fourth files all have extensions, non-page search. So the reason why this particular format over here is different from this one is because the file we are calling over here doesn't have an extension. That's why you have get_post_format. So this basically simply means that just look for a file called content.php. But in an instance where the file we're looking for does have an extension, rather than the get_post_format, you're going to have the name of the extension right over here after the comma. So in an instance where we wanted to call, let's say, content-search, we would look for a template part known as template-parts/content and then comma and then search, and so on and so forth. So that's basically how the get_template_part function works. So rather than having all the code for content.php, which is, you can see right now, it's quite a lot. Rather than having all of this inside of our index.php, we can simply pick up the code, put it in content.php, and then in our index.php, we can simply use the function get_template_part to call in the contents of our content.php. Now, I want to show you something over here from the WordPress directory. Let's come down here. Let me give you an example. So they do have different examples over here as well, as you can see, but I wanted to show you one in particular. And all right, so you can see right here, we do have an example with the theme subfolders. So it simply says that to use this function with subfolders in your theme directory, simply prepend the folder name before the slug. And so, for example, if you have a folder called partials in your theme directory and a template part called content-page.php, this is exactly how you'd write the function, as you can see. So if you want to practice this, you can go ahead right now and try calling the contents of the page-fullwidth.php, put this particular file inside of the template parts folder, or you could even create a separate file completely. You can put in some text inside that file and then try calling that file using the get_template_part function if you want to. But of course, later on, we will be taking a closer look at this function as we begin to build our WordPress themes. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next class.